Hey, what's going on, guys? Xbox All in China, host Sega Forever. I'm doing an all in chat video for you guys today. I'm going to talk about Xbox, more specifically, Satya Nadella came out. There's a clip being shared online. There's a clip being shared online. Sorry about that, guys. I actually wanted to make sure that my internet's been kind of has been kind of off lately. So I just want to make sure that this is streaming to the YouTube channel, which it is. I can see it right now, so I'll end that right now. Um, but yeah, this has been making the rounds for the last couple of days, the buzz, and then of course with all these so-called Xbox insiders giving their commentary. And as always, when this happens, people in the Xbox community tend to lose their minds. Though I will say I'm very proud of you guys. I think you guys are learning that a lot of this stuff that gets shared when it comes to Xbox, these supposed insiders that are giving out all this information, you guys are beginning to realize a lot of the times, well, majority of the time, they're wrong, and they don't know what they're talking about. And the times that they're right, most of us know this already, right? And the reason we know this, again, I make this a point on my videos to talk about it, is because we actually play the system and we actually utilize the ecosystem as well as their services. We are the consumer. For some of us, we're fans of Xbox, so nobody can tell you anything. For a lot of these guys trying to talk about Xbox and stuff like that, just keep that in mind. These guys don't own the console; they don't play the games. They only comment on stuff that's being put out there. I'm gonna do that myself, but I'm gonna add my commentary. We are gonna play the video. I was able to find one short clip. I don't want to have to see every single thing that he's saying, because the clip that I have, shout out to my boy Hoodie, um, you Hoodie, who put it on his channel, and I'm gonna share it off of Twitter or X. And just we're just gonna watch the video, then I'm gonna give you guys my commentary on it because I think it's really important to address a couple of issues. And again, man, a lot of these guys, dude, it's the same thing, dude. And like I tell you guys, man, all this stuff runs in cycles. There's usually a pattern to it. What's the biggest game right now that launched that everybody's playing? Right? It's Indiana Jones. You guys have seen the hype and the excitement from the Xbox team as well as Microsoft for the sales of the console, for the sales of the services, for the increase in subscribers, for the success of Black Ops 6. If you just go back and look at everything that's been going on this year for Xbox, dude, they've been batting 1,000, right? Maybe a couple strikeouts here and there, I should say, but I mean for the most part, dude, they've been hitting it out of the park. Okay, um, and as you guys know, man, look, dude, you have an aggressive gaming media. If this was politics, they would be the mainstream media, right? They have a certain slant, they have a certain bent. You can tell, and you can tell because of the way they write the articles, the way they address Xbox, the way they talk about Xbox. That's just the way the gaming media is. They just don't like Xbox. A lot of them are biased, man, because most of these dudes, the only thing they know about gaming is PlayStation. You know, they're a bunch of normies and a bunch of duperos, right? And some of these guys come on here on social media and they try and show their bona fides about their gamer scores and stuff like that. That doesn't mean anything to me, man. If you're not into the culture, if you can't talk to me about video games from a more sentient um, point of view than just trying to talk to me about stuff you unlocked or how many games you own and all that stuff. That's not gaming. At least not to me, man. I'm gonna set a standard for myself, and on this channel, when you're talking to me about video games, man, there's a criteria that I'm gonna have for myself when I'm addressing a lot of you people. Because I'll be honest with you, a lot of you guys are just not gamers, and that's okay, man. You don't have to be. I know it's cool. I know it's acceptable. I know you guys want to have your opinions on stuff, and in order to have your opinions on things, and for people to take you seriously, you have to have some type of bona fides when it comes to this kind of stuff. Unfortunately for you, there's a lot of guys like myself, Pivot, Sega Man, old school gamers, that have been doing this our whole lives, dude. This is not just a hobby for us anymore. It's a lifestyle. There's a point in my life I tried to give up gaming and it didn't work out because I just love it too much and I just incorporated it into my life. As old as I am, and I still do it to this day, man. And I think I do it in some instances more than most guys, more especially more of these guys that actually get to write these articles and give their opinions and have these quote unquote insiders, right? Um, yeah, so that's why I wanted to do this video. We're gonna address it again. It's all in chat, man. I'll be looking at the comment section. If anybody drops in, that's cool, man. I know I'm doing it kind of on an off day that I normally would do stuff. But this is gonna be a format change for my channel, dude. I'm gonna start doing more of these. I'm gonna start changing some of the things I do on, even the podcast that we hold. But I'll save that for later on. I'm gonna do a Wrecking Crew podcast this week. and then jump back on the political stuff because there's a lot of stuff going on. Pretty sure if you guys been keeping up with the news, man, there's other stuff about drones. Um, President Trump gave his first speech. We'll be covering all of that. I want to talk about sports as well. Caitlin Clark, man, she hit the court, looking good, man. I'm not gonna say. I gotta say, she looks good. She looks good. She's doing her off season training, getting to know her new coach, man. She has some controversial comments that she came out the other day, and we're gonna discuss all that. But what we're gonna focus on today, man, is Xbox, and that's the messed up thing, dude. I was not planning to do anything on Xbox this week. Today was my day to actually get back into Indiana Jones. As you guys know, I've been playing Black Ops 6. They had a free play weekend, which was awesome, and then they also gave double XP weekend, which was even more awesome. And I know there's people having some problems with Black Ops 6, man, right now. But for the most part, dude, it was a great weekend. I had to play that. You know, I'm trying to level up. I'm trying to prestige. I want to unlock some of my stuff. I got my battle pass out of the way, so now I can kind of diversify my playtime. And one of the things I'm gonna get back to is Indiana Jones because I have to leave the Vatican as much as I love that place. I love looking around, walking around, looking at everything. A lot of my brothers have already moved on. One guy we know has already beat the game, so I need to get back on track. And there's other stuff I'm playing. I did get the Plucky Squire. I might give my thoughts on that, dude. I've been enjoying that game. That game is awesome. It's around $22.99 right now. It's on sale, like 10% off. Normally it's $29.99. It's one of those games I plan to buy day one, but a couple games are leaving out of the Xbox Game Pass, and so I opted to buy those games instead to support those developers that support the system. And to be honest with you, man, a lot of times when I see games pop up that leaving for the month, most of the games that I like, I already own them. That's just the way that I do my gaming. And then sometimes I am caught off guard, man. There's a game that falls through the cracks. Again, this is why the narrative of Xbox has no games is just it's not true. And these guys have been lying this for so long. And as people start to come over and utilize services like Game Pass, especially, then they're going to begin to realize that the real issue is when it comes to Xbox, it's just a lack of time and a lack of funds, man. I mean, again, talk about that all the time on this channel, dude. It is hard. You know, you have to. You know, it's the holidays, dude. I just got dropped on me a $500 bill for my yard. They have to come in and actually root out some stuff and fix some stuff in my yard. You know, it's like $500 later. Right? And where I live, man, just everything's just more expensive. 30 to 50% markup on everything, man. From whether you're shopping for groceries, paying for bills. We have emergency situations. I do want a home, right? I told you guys about the plumbing I did. So all of that factors in, right? And the reason why I'm bringing that up is it's gonna come into play when we're gonna watch this video. Then we'll discuss afterwards, okay? But anyway, let me share this, and then we'll jump back on it. 1 second, dudes.
If I think about it, right, and the love for gaming, if I think about it, right, we chose the secular growth category in entertainment, which we think is gaming, and said, let's double down on it. And it's been a passion for Microsoft ever since. In fact, I think Flight Simulator launched before Windows or Office even. And so it's like one of the longest franchises in this company. And so we said, let's take that joy of gaming everywhere. And that's why even these ads with Xbox now, where we are redefining what it means to be an Xbox fan, it's about being able to enjoy Xbox on all your devices. So our strategy with Activision content now is in full force. We feel fantastic about the progress we've made. And more importantly, I think on long term, as a company, we can bring the best of AI innovation, cloud innovation, console innovation, PC innovation to build the best games that can be enjoyed by gamers everywhere. And the love for gaming, if I think about it, right, we chose.
So this is the clip that I saw earlier today. Again, shout out to Yehudi, man. Really appreciate I am borrowing your clip. And I saw everything that was going on, and I don't know what the problem is. I don't know where all the drama is coming from. Now, I'm not watching the full interview. To my understanding, from other clips that people showed, this is pretty much the gist of it, right? And the problem I have with this, first and foremost, is again, a lot of these guys are not Xbox guys that talk about this kind of stuff. A lot of them are just media types. Some of these guys purport to be Xbox dudes. I don't. A lot of them own multiple consoles. A lot of them have a preferred console, or use something to play games with that is not. Then their preferred console is not Xbox. They rather play on a Switch, or they rather play on PlayStation, or use the PC. Right. So already, whatever opinion you have, you're discounted right from the jump. Because in order to actually take advantage of everything that Microsoft is giving you right now, especially when it comes to Xbox services, Game Pass, Xbox games, ID at Xbox program, all of this kind of stuff, all the studios they own, either they bought or they created, all the content that they're coming out, dude, you have to be on an Xbox, or at the very least a PC, an Xbox and a PC, because they work in that ecosystem right now. So the PC is fine as well. But for me, when I look at everything, dude, it is about being within the culture of Xbox, being within the ecosystem of Xbox, understanding what they're really trying to do, right? And the second thing about all this kind of stuff, dude, is all of this stuff is speculation. What he's saying right now is nothing that they haven't been saying for the last 2.5 years, right? What you have is a lot of people listening to this and then reading into stuff. Now, if you're a hardcore fan and you're a hardcore Xbox fan and you're a console Xbox fan, dude, I sympathize. Okay, I do sympathize with you because I'm a console gamer, man. I'm not a PC gamer. I'm not a handheld gamer, right? I am none of that stuff. I'm not saying that I don't dabble in it or that I can't get into it, right? But my preferred way to play my video games, especially when it comes to Microsoft, is the Xbox, okay? And the games that they make and all the other stuff that comes with it. Right? And most of these dudes are not in the they're not in the culture, man. They don't know anything about Xbox beyond their own biases, number one, and number two, the stuff they get in the media, which is tainted. You guys just what you guys heard about the Game Awards. I know a lot of you guys like me don't watch it, right? You don't need to. Again, I'm still gonna do the video with the trailers, man, so we can go over it. That's probably the best thing that came out of this. Some really cool trailers. And we'll go over that, man. But for the most part, I don't watch that kind of stuff. And one of the reasons why I don't watch the Game Awards or a lot of these programs or listen or follow a lot of these websites, man, is because they have a bias towards Xbox. And it's not a good bias. Right? These dudes or they're biased against Xbox, dude. They like PlayStation. And some of it is subconscious, man, because PlayStation is all they know, because that's how they grew up. Dude, it's just like if you grew up in my time, dude, you were like an Atari. But there was also ColecoVision, you know. There was other different in television. There's other people that had consoles, but you just knew Atari. Or if you grew up in arcades, man, there's specific games that you played. My point being is that these guys think the way that they do, right? Is because that's what they know. They're not gamers, man. They're just not. They're not into the gaming culture. And that means something, especially if you're writing about this industry. This is why when I use Bing because I can try and get Bing points, I use Bing as a search engine. And even when I type out Xbox news, man, the predominant stuff that pops up is all about Sony. Or if it's about Xbox, it's negative and there's a Sony slant to it. Right? Now that's changed quite a bit, or not quite a bit. That's changed a little bit because Xbox is starting to come into its own. Right? It's got over 45 million subscribers. I think it's more personally, right? Then the reason why I say that is because they're not questioning it. They're moving full speed ahead. Satya is happy with the results. Because again, you know that what Microsoft does is they just look at the numbers. They're running the numbers. And one of the reasons why they do this, man, if I'm being totally honest with you guys, I gotta blame gamers or so-called gamers. That's why I call everybody so-called gamers, right? Because Microsoft has been told, or Xbox has been told for years what they want. I said this the other day on the video. They've been saying all the time, all gamers, quote unquote gamers, is like, well, if Xbox only had a more powerful system, if they had more powerful system, then I'd buy it. Or you know what, if they had games, I would buy it. You know, so Microsoft builds a more powerful system, and then they were like, well, if only they had games, and then Microsoft got more games, got some more studios, started adding to the repertoire, right? Started building out the library, started doing backwards compatibility, bringing stuff over. And they're like, oh, well, if they have AAA games, so they started trying to build AAA games, make deals with companies to bring AAA games, right? And then they're like, oh, but they don't have a single, they're not AAA games from their own personal studios, right? There was always moving at goalposts, man. And then that's why years ago, man, 2015, in fact, dude, I knew all these guys was liars, man. Right? And that's what's happening right now, dude. So in honesty, dude, a lot of this has to do with a lot of people that talk about gaming, that talk about being a gamer, that talk about, oh yeah, that game. That's the game I want, man. I'm gonna buy it day one, but they don't buy it, right? And you can say whatever you want to say and put a facade up, make whatever videos, do whatever rants you want. But at the end of the day, dude, the numbers don't lie. And when these guys are looking at the numbers, man, it's not adding up on either in any which way you cut it, right? And for me, when I look at Microsoft, they're just evolving, like they've been evolving for years, dude. They gave you the most powerful system, right? They added more games. They created a whole genre of ID at Xbox, which constantly pumps out games to you guys, right? And then on top of that, dude, they went ahead and bought all these studios. They created studios, then they bought all these studios, and people still aren't happy, man. It's not showing up in the numbers on the level that a lot of people said it was. So why would so like for me, dude? If I was running the company, dude, why would I listen to anybody at this point? Because you guys say one thing and you guys do another. And I'm not trying to put the corporation over the person. I'm just being honest, dude. They're not seeing the numbers. So what are they going to try and do? They see outlets because it's been working for them, right? It's not, I would say around 2017 they stopped listening, and they just started building, right? And that's something that Microsoft is known for, dude. They're a software juggernaut, right? So at some point you want to give the customers what you want, but when they're not responding, then you have to create your own way, and that's what they're doing right now. That's all they do. That's all they've been doing. Now, in hindsight, right, when Microsoft said they wanted to get involved, right, I didn't know they was gonna. I had a feeling they would get involved, but not like this. And I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying, right? They're like, okay, because right now this is. And again, dude, if you guys, I implore you guys, dude, you guys need to go to the source. You guys need to watch a lot more stuff with Satya than clips like this. Because I watch all the genius stuff that they do, all those things. Because I just find this dude fascinating, right? Like you guys know how I am politically, dude. I just find whether you guys like Trump or not, whatever. I don't care, but I find him fascinating. I find people like Elon Musk fascinating. Their thought process, the things they do, the way they create, the way they defy all odds, how successful they are, how they fail, why they fail, and how they're able to come back after they fail. I've always been that way, dude. That's just something for me, man. Disney, I did that with Walt Disney. There's a lot of icons that I look at. Even Steve Jobs, even though I'm not a huge Apple fan, you know, it's just fascinating to see these people build things to me, right? And then so Microsoft, dude, you guys need to start watching things with him outside of the gaming element, dude, because this is just like you watch something like this and it's just a quick reaction. Because nobody knows. This is what pisses me off about this stuff. Nobody really knows what's going on. The only people that know is this dude that you're looking at on the screen, right? And then Phil Spencer. That's it. And maybe some of the crew, right? But for the most part, it's him and Phil. So that's why I listen to the most, man. I don't care what Jez Gordon has to say, dude. I don't know why people take all these people seriously about stuff. Because even if they're right, dude, they don't know what they're talking about, dude. Anybody can be right, dude. I'm guessing stuff right now. I can guess, like a lot of people are like, well, what's going to happen when they go? They want to build these, they want to put Xbox everywhere, and get rid of the console, which is not going to happen. They're building the new console already, right? Then there are already rumors about handhelds, right? And so when you listen to these dudes, man, it's just like, where are you getting this information from? Who is your insider, man? Why is your insider always wrong? Like for me, the big hubbub was about these guys sticking their fingers in everything, causing troubles with the studios. When if you look at some of the stories that came out, a shout out to Dale. They talked about this as far as Tango GameWorks and stuff like that. I think it's more has to do with the culture at Xbox as opposed to what they're producing, right? I mean that's part of it, but ultimately, right? You guys know what's been going on politically, right? You know that a lot of these companies are shedding a lot of this DEI stuff, man. We all know Microsoft is a politically correct company, right? But these guys are starting to shift and focus away from that, man, and add a way to putting out product and making money. And a lot of times when you listen to Satya talk about this stuff, dude, this dude is big on AI, right? Chat GPT, all this kind of stuff. And already I read an article earlier. Sorry, I wish I should have bookmarked it. I gotta get better at that. I'll try. Right? Where this guy was complaining about COD because COD uses AI. And he's claiming that the way the AI works in COD, it balances out the games, right? To make it more fair and even for everybody, so that more people will play. I found it to be an interesting article. Whether they're doing that or not, I don't know. But just one of the things that I would not be surprised that I'm not saying that Microsoft is actually doing that or whatever. The guy could be right, he could be wrong, but that's not the point I'm trying to get. The point I'm trying to get is he's talking about AI. I understand that they would use that. And from when I look from the AI perspective, to me, it's like that would be interesting. But what you need to have AI in this environment, like they do with Windows and Chat GPT and all these other things, man, is they need an audience, man. They need guinea pigs, and that's what kind of what we are. So in that sense, I don't mind that so much because I think that's the payoff. I think that's more of the payoff, like what they're trying to use on the software side, implementing into gaming, using Xbox as a testing ground, and making tons of money on top of that. Right? They're making money on this kind of stuff. They have a testing ground for people because they're going to use that, like Microsoft always does. Right? Is they take what they learn and they push it onto their other products. And this is why I don't worry about them and the money. Right? Yeah, sure. I'm old school. I don't like exclusives going to other counters. I've said this. I've said that a million times. And then the other thing I said, that I'd rather them instead of being nice to just make these other companies bend the knee. I say that too. But you're not always going to get what you want. That's my perspective. But again, I also got to realize that I don't know everything that's going on. right? In those circles, dude. So like I said, what last year, like 20, 30 videos ago, on the channel that I made, is just basically, look, dude, you're gonna have to choose your path, dude. Pick your poison. At this point now, I mean, I look at it from two perspectives, right? It's like, yeah, what are they doing, but also what are they giving me? And does the good outweigh the bad? And right now, dude, as an Xbox dude, the good far outweighs the bad. Could that change? Yes. Right? Could Microsoft become a greedy corporation that destroys everything? Possibly. But it could also be like another evolution of gaming. You never know, right? But for me, since I'm already on Team Xbox, dude, I'm not gonna go anywhere else. If this is the last hurrah, I'm done. Right? Now, for some of you guys who are younger that are all into this kind of stuff, I don't know, man. I think a lot of you guys, man, need to just you guys need to spend more time on your games. If I'm being honest, dude, I wish I could. Like, I'm wasting my time right now doing this video in a sense. I like talking about this stuff, man, but I could be playing Indiana Jones, right? And that's why this is an all-in chat. We're gonna keep it short. But and the other thing about this video, I watched this and I thought this was great news. Now maybe I have the attitude of half glasses half full type of guy instead of half empty. Because when I'm listening to this dude and what he's talking about, I just see dollar signs, and when I'm seeing dollar signs, I'm seeing purchases. Right? I've been ticking people off on X, man, and it's not saying I don't believe what I'm saying, but I've been telling people all the time because these guys are throwing back. Oh yeah, they're going to make a handheld. They're going to get away from consoles. You know, they're going to put Steam games on Xbox. So then I just chime in on people's conversation. I was like, how do you know they're not buying Valve to get Steam? How do you know that? And the first thing they always say is like, oh yeah, that'll never happen. I'm like, dude, how many times have you guys said that over all these years? You could be right. Maybe that's not Microsoft's goal. Maybe that dude doesn't want to sell because people would say that at me. But then you also have Minecraft, Bethesda, and Activision. Dude, nothing, again, I tell you guys all the time, nothing's off the table with Microsoft and what they're trying to do. Dude, if they really wanna go to that next level, dude. I mean, to me, I see this. It could go bad, but for me, dude, I look at the upside and all this kind of stuff, dude. Buy Sega, buy EA, buy all these gaming companies, dude. Don't give these people a choice. That's what you're gonna need to do. And not everybody wants to sell, right? But if you get enough people, you get a bigger market share. These guys are gonna have to come to you. You can't avoid it. There's people doing that now. You see that happening with Japan, right? And that's the little things you got to look at, dude. You have Jez Gordon and what's that dude for IGN? All these people that are supposed to be these Xbox guys talking about this stuff, but they don't mention the little minutia of things, right? Like why, if this is if Xbox is dead, Sony's dominant, and all this crap, why are all these companies starting to come and make games for Xbox, right? And it goes beyond just the point of sale. I can tell you this much, man, and nobody talks about this. I'm the only one that I know of that talk about on the channel, and of course the guys in the circle that we're in. But outside of that, dude, nobody talks about the economy and how bad it is, and what an impact it's had on gaming. Dude, do you know how many people are going to Mar-a-Lago to meet Trump? All these tech guys that hated Trump, and I'm not talking about Satya. Satya's always been cool with Trump when he was the president the first time. Right? Satya doesn't think that way, but a lot of these guys, dude, now they're going to meet Trump, have dinner with him. Right now, all of these dudes that hated him, some of them worked against him in 2020 to get him not reelected, right? And now they're all going to kiss his ring. On top of that, donating millions of dollars to him for his inauguration, right? Because they know the tides is changing. For me personally, that's what I look at when I see Microsoft and I see Satya talking about this stuff. Right? They're looking towards the future, and to me, the future is going to be them just buying everybody. And I hope they do. I hope they do because I'm tired of this, dude. I'm tired of the gaming media. I'm tired of ponies, dude. I'm tired of so-called gamers, dude. I hope, I love Phil, but I hope this is one thing that comes out of all of this stuff, dude, is that Microsoft, yeah, put your games. You're gonna put your games on pad. You're gonna have the phone. You're gonna look for all this kind of stuff. But at the end of the day, man, I feel like they know that in order to win and take the and not win like as in a console war, win the next battle, like to dominate and go to that next level, they're gonna have to buy everybody. And I hope they do because people need money. And I have people telling me, well, what about the competition? But screw you guys and your competition, dude. Because you guys talk about competition, but then you guys want to play Indiana Jones, but you want it on PlayStation, right? Like me, if I want to play a game and I really want to play it, I don't care what system it is, I'll go buy that system just to play it. Dude, I don't do that, dude. That's what gamers do. But none of you guys do that. In fact, you guys are the reason. People like that are the reason that I don't buy other consoles because I want to support Xbox because that's the console I prefer. right? Back in the day, dude, everybody just bought a console. We'd argue like you fight with Nintendo guys because those are Sega dude, right? You'd say who was better in fighters in the arcade, Tekken or Virtual Fighter, right? But at the end of the day, guess what? You played them all. Yeah, these are not those times, man. A lot of you guys aren't those gamers. So sorry, guys. I'll switch back. I don't know if it. Hey, what's up, Global? Yeah, dude. I just wanted to do this really quick, because it was just blowing up. Global says, "Oh, you're on. Howdy." Yeah, dude. Just a really quick all in chat. I'm not gonna be on here long. Just wanted to talk about dude, this whole drama with what going on with Xbox. And again, from what I hear, like I'm on X all the time, dude. I'm more focused on the politics side, but it gains so much traction, dude, and it's always in my feed that I start looking at it. And it's the same thing, dude. It's just like I thought that Satya came on and said, or Phil came on and said, Halo's going to PlayStation, Forza's going to PlayStation, all of this stuff's going to PlayStation. All our studio games forward moving forward is going to PlayStation. But it's none of that, dude. It's none of that. It's the same thing over and over again. Something gets mentioned, one of these jerk offs does an article and says and talks and quotes an insider, right? And then the whole community loses their mind. I understand, man. For a lot of us hardcore guys, you see the writings on the wall in some aspects, but at the end of the day, dude, nobody knows. And then I watch this clip and nothing's really being said. In fact, if I'm looking like that's what I'm just saying, bro. I think this is a net positive, dude. Yeah, okay, go turn into Netflix, become Netflix, and go buy everybody. The reason why Netflix has so much content, dude, is like for me, one of the reasons I say this all the time. One of the reasons I have Netflix is because they have a lot of K dramas on there, and the K dramas are good. But what Netflix does is Netflix doesn't make the K drama, right? They shell the money out to the people that make the K drama, and then they get the rights to put it on Netflix. Right? In fact, they do that they've done it so well. They do it so much and done it so well. It's actually affecting the industry over in South Korea, right? Because money is becoming a thing now, right? Because Netflix has it, and some of these other production studios in South Korea don't, right? And so it's becoming competitive over there about celebrities and the stars and stuff like that, right? It's becoming its own thing. So if Microsoft wants to do that, more power to them. He says Satya gets it. They all do at MS. Yeah, and that's the thing that gets me, dude. He's just talking like you can see. Look, when people like him talk, dude, they talk in those, just this big picture type of way, right? That's why I'm fascinated that he does. Like the first time I ever seen him speak about Microsoft, he kind of incorporated into the speech that was talking about stuff that was way beyond. Surface was the big thing right now. They were launching that one for artists, all that stuff, and then but then he worked in the Scorpion, and he mentioned about the chip and the relationship. I think it was with Intel or wherever they work with that made that chip. I can't remember right now. But he's always doing that, dude. This is why, like for me, I don't think this is negative at all. Coco Polo. There is no competition from Sony. It's really about the market. Yeah. And then like that's what I get. I was like, okay, so you guys look at Xbox so much. Why aren't you telling me about Sony and what they have and don't have? Which is technically what they don't have. Like a lot of people when I'm looking at them, dude, they're talking about games coming from it's all about Xbox. Good, bad, up, down, left, right. It doesn't matter. It's always about Xbox. Always in their mouth. Coco Polo. Offer content and a good deal and let it work from there. Yeah, and that's what they're gonna do. Again, they're gonna do the Netflix model. And I'm not gonna lie, dude. Xbox and Microsoft is feeling themselves a little bit, but I don't want to be a hypocrite. About 3 years ago, I talked about this, right? That they need to do what's right for them, and let the people come along. Because again, dude, everything that people said Microsoft, Xbox did, and they did not get that reciprocal, or they did not get the response back from the community, quote unquote, the gaming community. Yeah, thanks, Gogo. Local poll says they're discussing this on C Money Show too. Yeah, I saw that they're running a video. Again, I'm not going to be on long. I like those guys, dude. I like listening to them. Just right now, man, I'll do this, and then I want to go play Indiana Jones. I got to get out of the Vatican, man. I've been spending too much time in the Vatican, and then I spent a lot of time on COD because it was double XP weekend, and I was able to. And the great thing is, I was able to finish my battle pass, so I unlocked everything. Because there was actually stuff in there I wanted, especially the final skin they had. I thought was cool, so I definitely wanted to get that. And then they had a couple events going on. I don't know exactly how that works. All I know is I completed it somehow. I don't know how I did, but I was happy with the stuff I got. So shout out to shout out to our boys, man, who are working on Black Ops 6. Dude, they've done a great job. Kogapol. It is a positive. It's just a rehash of the same stuff Phil and Sarah said months ago. The only addition is there is no red line and it's a case by case basis. Yeah. Yeah. Because like the way people are talking, dude, you would think that they announced Starfield going to PlayStation. That's what I thought. I thought it was something like that. Whoa. That's how it messed up. Right. And then I had to actually look at it, which I did not want to look at it because I didn't have the time. But I actually took time out of my day to look at this stuff and I'm like, okay, it's basically the stuff they've been saying this whole time. But like you said, minus the red line. Right. But that doesn't mean like you guys are gonna get Halo. It doesn't mean that you guys are gonna get Starfield. I mean, if they're gonna do this kind of stuff, at least wait. At least wait till at least you see Sony people buying stuff, right? Because if you're looking at the numbers, dude, to me it's not worth it, right? Because nobody's buying it on that level. If you could sell several millions of copies on the PlayStation, I could kind of see you doing that. I don't want you to do it. I'm against it, right? But say like you take Halo over there, and then 20 million people buy it, right? What do you think Microsoft's gonna do? I can't do anything about that. Do you think 20 million people is gonna buy Halo? No. And then there's other people making great points, right? Because Sony's not going to reciprocate, so it's better for you to just wait. If you want to get a Sony game, buy the PlayStation, and just wait for the Xbox games to come over, and then buy it. Hey, what's up, Daniel? Yeah, dude. Sorry I haven't done the video on Caitlyn, dude, but I will. We'll get into that, dude. But thanks for being here, brother. I think one of two big games will go, but not sure which ones. Um, I don't think it'll be Halo, and I don't think it'll be Gears. If anything, I could see Starfield eventually going over there. Again, if that happens, and I don't even and see, I don't even want to say that because I don't even think that's going to happen. I think what Microsoft is doing, dude, is they're just waiting, dude. They're waiting for the FTC. Number one, the FTC is changing, right? The person that got off the FTC, that's going to change, and everybody knows the new administration is a little bit way more pro-business than the previous administration. They're going to regulate some things, but it's not within the realm. When I look at what they're talking about, it's not within the realm of what makes sense for business, right? Microsoft's an American company. We need jobs here. That's probably the only focal point that they got to do. Like Satya will probably try and talk to Trump about doing the visas, right? Because he wants to bring people in from the outside to bring in here. And I think they can find common ground because Trump said, as long, okay, yeah, I'll do the visas for you, but you got to open your factory here and you got to pay American workers. And then that could also open up the universities as well. So to me, it's going to be a little bit more pro-business, man. And Trump, look, dude, his whole thing is the art of the deal. So he's willing to work with people, right? As long as it's not something ridiculous. Like he had a press conference yesterday, and I want to do a video just specifically talking about that. And he had the guy from SoftBank, right? Forgot his name, the dude from Japan. One of the biggest companies in the world. They just invested 100 billion. Was it 100 billion, right? Yeah, 100 billion. And then at the podium, dude, he was talking to the guy to get the guy to donate more money. He's like, yeah, I can see doing that. It was crazy. That's what he does, dude. And so so sorry, but to get it back to Microsoft, dude, I think that's a boon for them, dude. And I can see them, dude. Like some of the stuff I'm seeing right now that they're utilizing when it comes to Game Pass and we have EA Play and all this kind of stuff. Dude, if they announce some of this stuff that they're gonna buy these guys, I am not gonna be surprised at all. Daniel Google says, hey, Google Halo would be bad in my opinion, of course, but it is times changing. I mean, if they're thinking about taking Halo over there, they should just find a way to try and buy Fortnite. At that point, dude, I don't think because Halo. I don't think Halo, dude. If people loved Halo that much, they would have been playing it already on Xbox. That's my point, right? Because we say this all the time, dude. Like they have PlayStation right now has no games for Christmas and New Year's, right? In the first part of the year, or I don't know when their next game's coming out. To be honest with you, but they definitely don't have anything now, right? So and these guys do, and there's nothing to buy. But even when there is stuff to buy, they don't buy the stuff in those numbers, dude. You can scream at me 65 million consoles all you want to. I'd be more impressed if you had 65 million consoles with 20 million sold minimum, right? Because you guys are such gamers, which it's all BS, dude. At the end of the day, Pogo Paul says, I think it really depends on Sony. on if Sony conceded some games to Xbox to show fans times are changing. Yeah, and even if they did, though, we know they can't mention it, right? And then Microsoft being all nice and everything, like, oh yeah, you don't have to say anything. They just shadow drop it. I'll be honest with you, I don't care if their games come over here, dude. Again, if I wanted to play, and hey, and if you do like that, dude, hey, good for you. I don't care, dude. If I really wanted to play Sony games, I'd go buy a PlayStation, but I don't, and I'm never gonna buy a PlayStation. Gogo says, need to remember Satya is steering it to keep it alive in the long term. Well, and also I think he's utilizing it for his own reasons. He does that with all the suite of products that Microsoft has, dude. He always tries to build a synergy across the whole company, right? That's what he does. That's why I don't worry about it, right? Because it's not just focused on Xbox. It's or what can how we can keep Xbox productive. It's what can we take from Xbox to make other stuff productive. He always talks like that. This is why I was trying to tell people. Guys, if you're Xbox and you believe green, you have to start watching. You have to see what's going on with actual Microsoft property. Okay. In fact, what I'll do, dude, I'll just start doing videos. We'll look at his conferences and stuff, dude. I'll do the heavy lifting and then I'll do commentary on it so you guys get a better understanding of what he's looking at. Right. But then again, keep in mind, there's a lot of outside factors, dude. None of these tech guys thought they'd be in the situation they'd be in over the last 4 years. Most of these idiots voted for these guys, and these guys are supposed to be the smartest dudes in the room. Imagine the shock you vote for this dude, you think he's a good guy, and then your company's getting run through the ringer. I think that's funny, personally. So thanks, Google. Google says, I think MS plan is a big gamble, but I think they're putting themselves in a position where they can pivot in different directions based on what happens. I mean, I think I'm not really worried about them. They just have so much money, dude. They just have so much money. My only concern with MS is they're like, oh, okay, well, we're done here. We're done with it, like they do with other stuff. That's my only concern with Microsoft. But as far as they're just so rich, dude. Right? It's just kind of like what Amazon, dude. There's so many stuff that Amazon does that a lot of people don't like. Some of the stuff they produce, some of the things they do with their services, them raising the prices, but people still, still support them, right? And that's because they're the big dog in the room. That's kind of what I look at with Microsoft, dude. I'm not saying that they're perfect, but I will say, dude, that they're just rich, dude. It's ridiculous, and sometimes I don't like that, dude, because sometimes you're so you're bulletproof to the point where you don't pay attention. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not really listening. Anyway, I don't know, dude. As long as they keep the focus on, like when I look at this video, dude, and the stuff he's talking about, like I can see his brain actually working, his mind working on the stuff that he wants to do. Like you said, man, honestly, I absolutely agree. They're gonna put themselves in a position where they can pivot in different directions, right? But I think they're doing that as well to incorporate stuff from their other suites as well as and then take stuff from this and putting into them. It's again, it's a synergy that he likes. Hey, what's up, Vontae, brother? Thanks for being here, brother. What's up, y'all? Oh, I think you meant guys. Oh, he said y'all. Yeah, I got that autocorrect, Vontae. Yeah. But I might go check out. Well, maybe not tonight, dude. I'll go. I'll listen to the playback for On Point. See what they're saying over there, dude. The circle of people, man, that I'm gonna keep when it comes to Xbox, dude, is gonna shrink tremendously. Dude. It's already shrunk, dude. It's as small as I thought it was gonna be, but I believe I can get even smaller. Right? And then, like I said, there's gonna be a format change on this channel, and we're gonna move forward with that. When we do the podcast, maybe I'll do a separate video, do like a housekeeping video, and give you guys a channel update. Let you guys what I'm gonna do moving forward, and then implementing some of this stuff as well. Just putting out content, and then but this week, man, we're gonna have the Wrecking Crew podcast, dude. We'll be inviting the usual crew to come on. Gogo, you're invited. And what I'll do again, guys, this is the Wrecking Crew, regardless of what everybody's availability is. This is the official podcast. It'll have Gogo, if you can make it Gogo. We'll have Dea. We'll have Sigaman, Hebot, Unlimited if he wants to. And then I gotta figure out if Tuck wants to be on, but I gotta figure out what his name is. And it's the usual suspects that I usually run with, man. And but that's gonna happen this Saturday. And what I'm gonna do is we're gonna discuss all this. And who knows between what is today, Tuesday? Between today and then what happens on what Saturday is going to be like, Friday, Saturday. Who knows? We might even have more news. But that's what I'll do, man. I'll bring other guys on and then we'll talk about this in more detail. But yeah, so I'm going to wrap it up, guys. Just keep this one short. Again, just keep my ears. Let's keep our ears to the ground. Let's not be so destructive. Let's not be so negative about all this kind of stuff, dude. Because I'm pretty sure, man, if tomorrow they announce that they're buying Valve, or announce that they're buying EA, or announce that they're buying Sega, this whole thing gets turned on their ear. And again, just listen, just look at the patterns, man. When Microsoft is hitting out of the park, when all things are going good, something like this happens, and it usually comes from the usual suspect, Jazz Gordon, that other loser on there. I can't think of his name. Tom somebody, right? The Destin said something. IGN said something dumb, right? The usual suspects, dude. Because you can't just go, you just can't have a good time with Xbox. Nothing can be good for Xbox. There's always going to be a negative, right? And that's what it is right now. And again, dude, he doesn't say anything, dude. Why are you guys losing your mind? He absolutely does not say anything about what anybody's telling me, or everybody's losing their mind, right? So, hey, Vante, thank you for being here. Global, thank you for being here, and Daniel, thank you for being here. But we're gonna wrap up the show. Hopefully, this helps you guys, give you guys a little bit more peace of mind, right? You know, like these guys said, it could go south. Yeah, well, it could go north. Tomorrow we could wake up tomorrow and find out Microsoft bought everybody, right? So don't try not to trip on this kind of stuff, dude. Just enjoy your games. Sometimes you gotta unplug and just enjoy your games, right? Xbox All In channel, Sega forever. We out.